Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're taking a look at Saint Meghan Markle. That's right, we're jumping back in with them as they always have the most fun, silly, thought-provoking things over there. And I just thought, you know what, let's take a look. And I want to kick it off with something I found real interesting that I didn't know. So let's take a look. Thanks so much for being here. Honk honk, everybody. You guys, right off the bat, I knew I wanted to make this video and I wanted to start off with this. This was posted by Won't Yield, some genius internet sleuthing over here. This person figured out that Meghan's ex-husband Trevor remarried in 2019. He got married at Rosewood Miramar Beach Hotel, the location of Meghan and Harry's Independence Day stunt. Dun dun dun. Yeah. So they figured out this spot where you see Maggie Poo over on the right, allegedly, for the 4th of July pictures that she had to post on the same day of Scottish coronation, Same spot where Trevor got married. How weird is that? Sure, it could be a coincidence, except for nothing with her is ever a coincidence. It's all plotting, scheming, etc. So where are we going with this? Why there? And damn, is this person smart that figured this out. That's nuts. It just struck me as very odd when I saw it. So here's Trevor. Obviously, he upgraded, and here's some of the comments under this article. So the original poster says Trevor really dodged a bullet. Several. His new wife is worth $200 million. She's an heiress, not a broke chick that botched a royal family role, is too toxic to be an influencer, and has to merch her kids for a local hotel. And now he's a dad. Well said. Interesting. So, obviously, okay, those pictures. I have a whole video on it where Harry's holding Lily, and yeah, we talk about it. Did not know it had anything to do with a hotel. And wow, I'm just putting the pieces together. So was that a merch opportunity? I just assumed it was to try to overshadow the royal family on Scottish coronation. Because anytime they're in the news, of course, Meghan and Harry have to jump to and post some bullshit. But this adds a whole layer of nuttiness to this whole thing. I don't know. It just strikes me very odd because, again, nothing is accident with these two, especially her, I don't think. And then Abby Rose posted this. Love Morticia. Love this very much. All right. And then we got Taking a Break 1 that says, I Googled and his wife is heir of like $200 million. So Trevor got an heir and Meghan got a spare. Oh boy. I love that. I love the idea. What if Trevor is now worth more than Meghan? I think that would be so freaking funny and good for him. He seems happy they have a baby. That's amazing. But also, ha 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 ha. Because I'm petty and she deserves it. All right, let's talk about this one. So I'd posted a video where Jay and I go into the rumor about the Bodyguard 2, the Meghan edition, right? Where she's trying to get this rumor out that she's going to be in the Bodyguard. It's all bullshit. All right, so this is Miss _Poi, I think it is. And it says the Bodyguard rumor is a digital strategy to bury real-life negative stories about the Instagram-loving bee-wife and her bodyguards. And this is by Kinsey Schofield. So speaking of plotting and planning, I just assumed when we recorded that, I went into how it just seems to be her throwing everything against the wall, seeing if anything will stick. Trying to stir up these stupid rumors, trying to get her name out there, try anything to get attention, that sort of thing. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. She seems to have she never feels embarrassed about anything. Doesn't matter if she's been caught in a million lies, doesn't matter how ridiculous the claim is. She's okay with it as long as people are talking about her, I guess. But I thought this was an interesting point. So apparently Kinsey brings up that this is a way to bury the real life negative stories about Meghan. And I want to know what they're talking about. I want to know what they are. Is it from like a hostile work environment situation or more of like handsy bodyguard situation? What are we talking? I need to know more. I may have to listen to this. To which coffee_cake_101 says, that makes perfect sense. You can, to a large extent, get away with dating your bodyguard since he is by necessity with you at home and out and about. It's hard for anyone to point a finger, easier to point out Harry with a busty blonde. But he's not marriage material for Meghan, as he is not rich, famous, powerful, or influential. And if she wanted a quiet Mr. Mrs. Or as they wrote, Mrs. lifestyle, she could have had that with Harry, so it must be all about sex. So I guess we can assume that Harry is not fulfilling her needs. So this person seems to think it's sexual. And while I do agree the weird hand placement really freaks me out of that bodyguard, but I didn't just immediately take it like that. She's had a history of people alleging bullying in the workplace and, again, hostile work environment situation. So that was my first thought is she a nightmare and she knows that story's about to come out, so she better try to get people, look over here. So if you Google Meghan Markle bodyguard, I don't know. Even that seems like a stretch. I think she just likes people talking about her. And it was tied to Diana, the original sequel idea. So she thought she likes to tie anything she can, any connection between her and Diana she's going to do, which I find so weird, by the way, since she married Harry. But any Diana connection she can make, I think I just tend to think that's more of her strategy than anything else. And then Catnip 1243 suggests it's what she does. She constantly puts out ridiculous PR when in reality she's Meghan, no mates. Chalice Inc. replied, she never stops though. She just keeps flailing her arms wildly, hoping to smack a good PR moment in the face. It's the persistence coupled with the desperate need for attention. She's becoming the Mona Lisa of WTF is she doing? I love that very much. Flailing her arms wildly, hoping to smack a good PR moment in the face. Yeah, I'd say that sums that up. All right. Then Hopeful Plastic says, what's refreshing is the scorn being expressed about these rumors of her doing the Bodyguard 2/remake. She really is the laughingstock category now. Yeah, same. It was very funny to read the reactions when I posted that video about it. You guys had a lot to say about it. It doesn't need a remake. It doesn't need to be redone. The original was great. And what are you going to get out there and sing? Are you going to outsing Whitney or Dolly? I don't think so. Okay, then we have Cambria Van Dam, great name, saying, Daily Mail catching on to what we've always said. That day at the polo was weird. Kate famously loves babies but didn't engage. This, to me, is proof that Charlotte bullying claim really happened. And it says, truth behind that awkward Mum's Day out as Catherine returns to the polo support William, how her 2019 outing with Meghan was an effort to show a united front before their feud was exposed. All right, here's the thing. I think Catherine is just a professional, just a hard worker. I think she would never show in public what would have been a private disagreement. Now, since then, of course, we've seen like at the Queen's funeral, they had a little bit of a standoff, but again, who could blame Catherine? I think she handled everything beautifully. I think Meghan's a monster, and I never would recommend physical violence, but I'm thinking if any of it that they said Meghan did toward little baby Charlotte, Princess Charlotte, was even kind of true, then I think Catherine would have been well within her rights to take it to any means necessary. Read between the lines there. So, yeah, absolutely just wild the thought that Catherine had to continue to work through this and work anywhere near Meghan after all that. So 34 Countries says, nobody's catching on. We all had eyes. Maybe they finally feel like someone gave them the go-ahead to now let the truth come out. I'm totally disappointed that the truth was never reported, and only when the tide turned by some miracle do they start reporting the obvious. Sinners, that's what they call themselves in the Reddit group. I'm sure you know that, but in case you don't, that's our purpose here. Always hold the press and that ghastly duo accountable. I truly feel YouTubers and the press are aware of us now and know that our sub is the truth. Absolutely. And I feel the same way. I feel like I don't know. It's just, I'm meant to put all this stuff out here as well. It's the least I can do to help the queen. That's my curtsy to the queen, as I say. So Masters underscore, is it Dame, replied, Meghan didn't interact with the Cambridge clan, formerly Cambridge, at all. She wouldn't even acknowledge Louis, who was trying to get her attention. It was the most bizarre outing I've ever seen. To which Buttercup899 replied, Markle's jealous and psychotic when it comes to Catherine and her children. What a pathetic creature. Yeah, same. I couldn't agree more. I just did a long video on how Meghan treated Catherine and how awful her behavior was. I definitely recommend you go back and watch it if you didn't already, because I go into specifically how she targeted Charlotte, and it brings it all back up for me how much I cannot stand Meghan Markle, if that's even kind of true. And I did a deep dive into this moment on Patreon because I hesitate to talk about anything to do with the kids on the main channel, but I'll tell you, it really weirded me out how she was holding this baby and that it was a newborn out all day with not a blanket on it. It felt like she was uncomfortable. The baby was uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable to look at it. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. So this person says, I wouldn't even hate watch Meghan Markle. Just putting it out there for our sinners to either agree or disagree. I thought it could be helpful to have a thread that anyone considering her for a, quote, leading role, ha ha ha, or other brand ambassadorship who comes here can know no one is interested in watching Meghan Markle or her projects. Laughing and making fun of what we can access without supporting her, yes. But actually buying or contributing to any ratings is not going to happen. And then they posted this. It says, you mean something like this doesn't make riveting television? Oh my goodness. You mean where they're crying on the floor and doing fake loved up poses? No, not so much. Oh my goodness, you guys. Yeah, same. I don't know. Let's see. The best way I saw this put is somebody explained it in the comments that if I partake, it will happen to fall off the back of a digital truck. How about that? So take that to mean whatever you want it to mean. That's how we will partake, and that way no purchases are made. This person is replying in terms of the Netflix stuff and says, even with alcohol, I could not stomach the whining. Oh my gosh, I want those hours of my life back. Me neither. It still haunts me. All right, to which this person says, their voices are awful. I'd rather listen to Jim Carrey's most annoying sound from Dumb and Dumber on continuous loop. I love Dumb and Dumber. I would totally do that. And I would probably laugh every single time that loop played too. But yeah, agree. Which this person also agrees and says, you couldn't pay me to watch anything she's involved in. I would also avoid any product endorsed by either one of them. Yeah, same. All right. And then this one says, is Madam paying WME? They go on to say, or is it that they only get an agent's fee if she gets a hire? For what? Is she paying them just to rep her? I have no idea how such things work. If it's the latter, it's just the same old, so many maybes, could happen, tapped. Seriously, now Kevin Costner's being dragged into her drama. He seems to be quite busy with his divorce to be thinking about Madame replacing the icon Whitney. Her shamelessness never ceases to amaze me. Same here. I think just as long as she's being talked about, she's happy. It doesn't matter if it's of substance or not. I mean, that just seems to be her whole thing. To which somebody replies, the whole thing with Kevin Costner is just so shameful. I mean, no one believes that. Kevin Costner's way too busy to deal with her. You guys, I'd forgotten about this. All right, Gloomy Accountant 19 posts. Kevin Costner had I just called her Amber Heard all figured out. So I think he could smell another narcissist like Meghan from miles away. I forgot about that. Allegedly, one Miss Heard threw herself at Kevin Costner. Something to do with showing up without much on to his trailer, something like that on the set. And he said, no, thank you. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's pretty good. So Green Charter had a very funny response, which is, seriously? Who comes up with these dumb shit ideas? Which tradition Scary 8716 says the Duchess of Dumb Shit Ideas, most likely, aka Rachel at Hotmail. And people freaked out over Duchess of Dumb Shit Ideas. I love that so much. Duchess Dumb Shit. And lastly, I thought this was a good point that I really hadn't thought about. Somebody brings up Tiganello brand ambassador fail. And if you don't know what that is, it's a wine. That's what she named her blog after, the Tig. And side note, you know what's funny about that? I heard myself just now saying the Tig. It's like a verbal eye roll when I say that, because that's how I feel about that. And it says, don't you think it's interesting that Megsy wasn't ever given a brand ambassadorship for her beloved light bulb moment Tiganello experience? The one which propelled her into influencer stratospheric success. Where are they in all this? Where are they in all this? Are they cringing at her association with their brand? Have they ever even invited her to be part of an ad campaign, marketing strategy, photo op, question mark? Anything? I don't think so. Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that, but that's such a good point. Where are they on all this? Why don't they sue her for using the Tig? P.S. Any wine drinkers here try that brand? Just curious. How's it taste? Okay. Coffee Cake 101 says she has talked on more than one occasion about dealing with problems by taking to her bed with a bottle of red wine and a loaf of bread. Does anyone really do that? And am I the only person thinking crumbs? Anyway, I'm not sure that it's the image they'd want to be associated with. Which the original poster says sounds like she's copied this from somewhere. I'm not going to lie, prefix gives it away. I wonder who she plagiarized. To which Jackie assumes it's Bridget Jones. And Afterlife 1101 says, the thing about narcissists is that there's no authentic self. Empty. Which is hilarious because that's what she was called recently, an empty vessel. You guys, I'm going to end it here. This was so much fun. Oh, with the wine and the loaf of bread thing in bed, all I could think of was messy. That's right. Full circle. You guys, thank you so much for being here and for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all the love and support. It means the whole wide world. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Leave me some honks in the comment. You Drunk Goose Club, you know I love that stuff. And I can't wait to do more just like this. I hope you have the best day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.